Canada's 2025 Immigration Outlook, Balancing Growth, Caps, and Sustainability. Today, we're talking about Canada's immigration landscape in 2025. Projections show nearly 400,000 new permanent residents could arrive this year, even as Prime Minister Mark Carney's promises to cap immigration face scrutiny. We'll look at the data, the pledges, and the bigger picture, all without any negativity, just objective analysis. Let's get started. First, a quick background. Canada has long relied on immigration to fuel its growth, especially with an aging population and low birth rates. According to historical records, the country hit a record of 405,000 immigrants in 2021, with plans at one point to reach 500,000 annually. But in recent years, rapid increases led to challenges like housing shortages and strained public services. By 2024, the government adjusted course, setting lower targets for permanent residents, 395,000 for 2025, down from previous highs. Temporary residents, including students and workers, also ballooned to over 3 million, making up about 7.3% of the population at their peak. This context sets the stage for the current discussions. Enter Prime Minister Mark Carney, who campaigned on bringing immigration to sustainable levels. In his Liberal platform, Carney pledged to cap the non-permanent resident population at below 5% by 2027, a reduction from the recent high of over 7%. He also proposed limiting annual permanent resident admissions to about 1% of Canada's population, which, with a population of around 41 million, translates to roughly 410,000, though the official 2025 target is 395,000. Carney emphasized the need to build up Canada's infrastructure to welcome newcomers, acknowledging that the system needed time to catch up. These reforms aim to make the process more selective, potentially affecting programs like express entry and provincial nominee pathways. Now, let's look at the 2025 reality. Data from Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada shows that from January to April alone, Canada welcomed 132,160 new permanent residents. At this pace, the year-end total could approach 400,000, aligning closely with the upper end of Carney's proposed limits but still raising questions about reductions. This doesn't include the over 3 million temporary residents, who now represent 18.5% of the private sector workforce. Sources like the Senate's National Finance Committee have highlighted these figures, noting the IRCC's 2025 budget of $5.17 billion to support processing. So, is Carney's cap promise crumbling, as some headlines suggest? Critics point to the continued high arrivals and a perceived gap between pledges and action, with senators demanding more transparency from officials who initially hesitated to provide exact numbers. On the other hand, the government argues these levels support economic growth, citing needs in sectors like healthcare and construction. The official plan still targets a drop to 380,000 in 2026 and 365,000 in 2027 for permanent residents, with temporary numbers set to decrease to 673,650 in 2025. Provinces like Alberta are pushing for even stricter caps, suggesting 1% of their population annually, about 50,000 for them. The debate often centers on execution, with some noting that while targets are lower than pre-2024 peaks, the boom feel persists due to backlogs and global demand. What does this mean for Canada? On the positive side, immigration drives innovation, fills labor gaps, and enriches cultural diversity. Think of the economic boost from skilled workers and students. However, challenges are real. Rents in cities like Toronto and Vancouver have risen over 20% year-on-year, and the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation estimates we need 5.8 million new homes by 2030 to keep up. Healthcare and education systems are stretched, with hospitals at capacity and youth unemployment ticking up amid increased labor supply. Balancing these is key, and policies like Carney's aim to do just that by prioritizing infrastructure investment alongside controlled inflows. In conclusion, Canada's 2025 immigration story is one of ambition meeting reality. While 400,000 new arrivals signal continued growth, Carney's caps represent an effort to ensure sustainability. What do you think? Are these changes enough? Share your thoughts in the comments below, politely of course. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Thanks for watching.